Another box watching episode. We had episode number 51, and we had a great slate. We had some really fun games. My Warriors won, so I'm in a better mood, man, and it was the best win of the season for me, so I'm in a great mood. I'm here to tell you all about today's games, my thoughts, my everything. I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you thought about today's games. What were your favorite moments, favorite memes? Send them all to me. You got link to my socials down below. And leave a like, subscribe, and let's get into it. In Miami, as the Heat stay inconsistent and lose against the Spurs. First, let's get it out the way. Shout out to the Spurs, as you know, Keldon Johnson put up a pretty solid game. You got Devin Vassell off the bench since he was limited. He had 18 points off the bench with 7 of 13 shooting. Doug McDermott, Charles Bassey, who's been looking great all season. Got some solid production from them. The starters were okay. Shout out Romeo Langford and Zach Collins, especially Zach Collins in that second half and that fourth quarter where he was just kind of bullying Miami, it felt like. And Romeo Langford had a great game. So that was nice to see for the Spurs. They win 2 games in a row after an 11-game losing streak. Maybe, you know, they just were tanking for Wembanyama, right? Now let's get to the real stuff here, right? Let's get to the Miami Heat, as they are now 12 and 15, and they are as inconsistent as it gets. They are just, I don't know what to think about Miami, man. Jimmy Butler and Bam are both great, but everyone around them just plays kind of weird. You know, Tyler Hero tonight, 23 points. Bam had 12, 5 of 11 shooting, and you might say, how can you say Bam? How can you not have Tyler Hero with them in that conversation? And he should probably be. You're probably right, but I still feel like it's wildly inconsistent from everyone except maybe Jimmy. But you got just an ugly offense that gets really stale a lot of the time, and you got inconsistent shooters. Max Strus has been really off since the beginning of the season, where he started off hot, and as one of my 6 Man of the Year candidates, he's been pretty bad lately. You got Victor Oladipo, who's bad on defense, and you know he can still put up points, but his impact is nowhere near it used to be. You got Dwayne Dedmon, who might be one of the worst backup centers in the league, to be honest with you. Duncan Robinson is unplayable with his 90 millions. You got wasted spot with Udonis Haslem, even though of course he's Heat culture, right? But what is really Heat culture here when you're just losing, playing inconsistent offense that gets really dry really quickly, and the defense is not as good as you would think it could be with Jimmy, Bam Adebayo, Kyle Lowry. You got Tyler Hero, who's obviously not great at defense, but you know you should be able to master with those 3 guys. But Kyle Lowry is not the same. Caleb Martin and everyone off the bench is not that great on defense, so it's really rough in Miami. And I don't know what they should do, right? Because maybe you can trade Duncan Robinson's contract with something for somebody, but for, you know, who would that be actually, right? Because somebody would have to match his money, and you would probably have to give up a pick, or I don't know, man. I really am lost with what Miami can do here to savor this. I still feel like they're dangerous if they, you know, get it together, but it's really not looking like it, and we're, you know, it's like 25 games in, right? 27 games they played already, and nothing has changed so far. They've been as inconsistent as ever. They've not showed us that they can, you know, put together a couple of games. Don't have that much faith right now. Next up, we move on to Indiana, where my frisky Pacers lose a game against the Nets without pretty much everyone. So you had pretty much the whole starting lineup missing. Well, not pretty much. You had the whole starting lineup missing. You got even Seth Curry missing. You got Joe Harris missing. You got TJ Warren missing. And it was the bench mob for the Nets, and they beat the frisky Pacers, man. They latched on to 29 offensive rebounds, which is insane. Then out-rebounded the Pacers by 29 rebounds, which is exactly the number of offensive rebounds they got. And everyone was really good. You got Cam Thomas off the bench being a bucket. He had 33 points. He scored like 22, 23 points in that fourth quarter and took the Nets home, if I might say. You got Edmond Sumner with 21 points. You got Patty Mills with 24, 6, and 6. You know, they didn't take enough advantage of him being on the floor. Dayron Sharp had 20 points, 12 rebounds. He had 9 offensive rebounds in this game. You got Markieff Morris with 15 points, 11 rebounds. And yeah, I mean, they just played really well, and the Pacers, you know, got really bullied on the boards. And even though it felt like they were gonna get away with it, the Nets always had the answer. In that third quarter, they had an answer where the Pacers got off to like a 15-point lead. Then in that fourth quarter, where the Pacers were almost getting over 10 points, they once again answered, and just a great win for the Nets. I might have to take them a little more seriously, even though I probably will not trust them until until we get them, the second round of the playoffs, right? I probably won't trust them until then, but they are showing signs of improvement. And the Pacers, even though they shot incredibly well and they were pretty solid themselves, you can't just win a game when you get almost doubled on the rebounds, right? 29 offensive rebounds, as I said, for the Nets, and you just had 30 rebounds on your own. They almost out-rebounded you just by offensive rebound alone. Like, how can you do that? I don't know. But otherwise, they played solid offensive game. Just, they got bullied, as I said, and that's what happens, right? When you get bullied, it's kind of hard to win. Shout out to Tyrese, who once again had 35 points, 9 assists, 5 turnovers, which is not the best night for him. You got some double-digit scores otherwise, but the story is just that they got bullied, right? Next up, we had to Washington, as the Wizards took on the Clippers with John Wall returning for the first time to DC. And it was lovely to see, man. I love to see it. He got a great reception, and he was really, solid out there in the game. He had 13 points, 5 of 13. It was not his best game by any means necessary, but he was solid, and it was just nice to see. And the Clippers get another win. They are, getting healthier. Kawhi played another 30 minutes. He still, of course, doesn't look that much in shape, and his lift is not there. He looks heavier. Hopefully, with getting more playing time, staying healthy, he can get back to where he was before, or at least closer to it. He had 13 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. He was not a positive, not a negative, but he was okay. You got Paul George, who's been looking great. He had 36 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 13 of 27 shooting. PG looks great. Hopefully he can stay also healthy, but it's always gonna be that same question with the Clippers, right? The bench played solid. You got Nicolas Batum, Luke Kennard playing great off the bench, and Ty Lue pulling the right cards, which he always does because he's one hell of a coach. And they get a great win against the Wizards. And the Wizards, once again without Bradley Beal, who's been really inconsistently in and out the lineup. Sometimes, do some injuries, sometimes do some health protocols, as I always keep saying. But he was out today. You got Jordan Goodwin coming in, replacing him. He was okay. He was pretty solid, actually. He had 17 points, 6 steals, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 6 of 13 from the field. And he's been quietly really good for them. And they were missing Monte Morris also, which doesn't help either. They didn't get any bench production. The bench just, nobody could play. Rui Hachimura was also missing. A lot of people missing for the Wizards, even though Kyle Kuzma and Kristaps Porzingis were pretty great. Kyle Kuzma hit 7 threes and was shooting the lights out, had 35, 12 rebounds, but the turnovers were there, and he kind of cooled off in that second half. Kristaps didn't shoot that well, but he got to the free throw line a lot. He had 30 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists. They just didn't have enough bodies that were positive enough, right? You can't win with 2 players playing great and everyone else playing just kind of there. Jordan Goodwin was pretty solid, so can't say just 2 players playing great, But it's just not a winning recipe, right? Hopefully they can get healthier. They can get Bradley Beal back, Monte Morris can play, and they can build up some momentum. But it's looking a hell like last year, where they started off really hot. They were the first seed, and then they just started getting injured and injuries and injuries and injuries, and they fell. Then we had to Cleveland as the Cavs win against the Thunder on a back-to-back night, and the Cavs redeemed themselves, get back on track with a win after yesterday's tough loss. Even though Darius Garland wasn't shooting that well and didn't play his best game, he had 6 turnovers, just 13 points, 8 assists. But they still get a huge win thanks to their incredible defense and the front court play, as Jared Allen and Evan Mobley both had 21 points. Evan Mobley had 12 rebounds, Jared Allen had 11 rebounds, and they were both sensational. Lamar Stevens was also really great in his role. Caris LeVert got to scoring, not as efficient as you would like him to, but he finally gets his shine to, gets his chance to get back on track offensively, and hopefully these 2 games where he started and put the ball in the basket without Donovan Mitchell, of course, hopefully it can help him and translate it to the bench. Cherry Osman, he's been really good. Isaac Okoro has been solid, and the bench has been pretty okay. But if Van Donovan Mitchell returns and Caris LeVert can build hopefully on these games, it should look a lot better. And on the Thunder side, they keep fighting. It felt like they were gonna get blown out. The OKC Thunder just always keep fighting. They always stay in these games. Shea didn't play his best game today. He was fouling really badly. He was, indecisive with his decision making, it felt like, and he didn't play his best game. Josh Giddey, even though the stats look pretty solid, Josh Giddey played a pretty overall good game. 17 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. 1 steal, 1 block, 7 of 16 shooting. He was solid. He was pretty good, I would actually say. I really liked what I saw from him. The same goes for Poku, Alexei Pokushevsky, who had 16 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists. And I liked what I saw from the bench. You got Darius Bazley coming in, playing pretty solid. Isaiah Joe had 12 points. Jalen Williams had 11 points. Some solid outings for the Thunder, and they're not too dissatisfied with a loss, right? Then we head on to Chicago as the Chicago Bulls blow out the Mavs without Luka. And there's not much to say really here, right? The Mavs didn't play any defense whatsoever. There was no Luka. I guess you can take some positives with JaVale McGee scoring 18 and Jaden Hardy got some playing time. Otherwise, it was just a nasty watch, a blowout. You got Chicago, everyone chiming in. DeMar had 28, Patrick Williams had 16. I love to see that. You got Nikola Vucevic with 20, Zach LaVine with 16 and efficient, and the bench got to play. You got Dalen Terry coming in for, I'm not sure if the first time, but he got in. He got 2 points, 2 assists, and that was nice to see as for the rookie. And everyone played great on the Bulls. They shot 64% from the field, 56% from the three-point line. And you're not gonna, lose many games like that, right? So they get a feel-good win. And the Mavs without Luka are, well, they suck, right? Then we move to the NBA Finals rematch. My Warriors beat the Celtics and get over 500 before that huge road trip. Huge win, much needed win, and the best win of the season for them. And I'm not sure if Jason Tatum was seeing ghosts out there or he got the yips, but man, was he bad today. 18 points on 21 shots, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. 2 turnovers. He was not great today. He really struggled. He missed some easy layups. He couldn't get the shot going. He just looked distraught out there. And, well, it happens, right? But after last year's finals where he struggled really heavily, there was no Andrew Wiggins, and you would feel like, yeah, he's gonna perform today. And I wanted to even bet the over on him, but thank God I didn't, right? You got Jaylen Brown, who played sensationally as, he attacked, and he seems to be better against us than Jason, and he had 31 and 9 rebounds, so a great game from him. And, well, they didn't shoot the ball the lights out as they've been. They shot just 30%. Some of it was our defense, some of it was just them missing, maybe feeling the pressure a little bit as they kind of wanted to win, it feels like, even though they all said, of course, it didn't mean that much in the grand scheme of things, which they are right, but I feel like they wanted to make a statement and they just weren't able to do it. And my Warriors pretty comfortably get a win. It was back and forth, it was tight, but in the end I never felt like we were gonna lose, honestly. It felt like if game 1 of the finals doesn't repeat itself where the Celtics all of a sudden shoot the lights out for the 4th quarter, we were gonna comfortably win, and that's what happened. Everyone showed up. You got Steph with 32.6 rebounds, 7 assists, 6 of 11 from the 3, 12 of 21 from the field. You got Clay chiming in with 34, a great Splash Bros game, 14 of 26 from the field. You got Kevin Looney being the man, the god himself, 7 and 15. Shout out to Looney, man. He's one of the best at what he does, man. One hell of a defender. Always gives his best, shine when the lights are brightest, and man, I love Loon, man. Shout out to Loon. Draymond played really solid, and off the bench you got hella positives with Dante DiVincenzo playing 17 minutes, was plus 20, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 points, and he hit that 3 in that 4th quarter, which when he hit that, I was like, yeah, we're gonna win tonight. We're gonna win tonight. You got Jonathan Kuminga being aggressive, playing solid defense, getting great experience. And I loved what I saw from him. He's gotta get these consistent minutes right now, because even though, of course, Wiggins is out, he's gotta get those consistent minutes, man. I need to see 20 minutes of him every night, because he makes impact, and he's figuring his role out, and I love it, man. I love it. So a lot of positives for us. Wiggins should be back for the Bucks on Monday, which is gonna be a real tough game, and we'll see how we fare against the Bucks, which should be a very tougher matchups for us than the Celtics. Then we move on to Denver as the Nuggets pick up a win against the Jazz, and in a really back and forth game, a tight game where both teams were going on their runs. It was actually pretty good defense, I would say, for both of these teams, who I would say have not been good defensive teams. They are okay, but not something good. And they played really good basketball. It was a really back and forth tight game. But in the end, the Nuggets' talent prevailed as Jamal Murray had another great game after the game winner. And he's been looking much better. I feel like that game winner against the Blazers gave him the confidence, gave him the more belief in himself. And he's going to build up on it even more. And he's going to go on a great run here from now on then, and he had 30 points tonight, 13 of 19 from the field, and just a great game from him. And everyone in the starting lineup showed up, right? You got Aaron Gordon with 15, Nikola Jokic at 31 points, 12 rebounds, 14 assists, 4 block. What a player he is. What a player he is, man. Nothing much to say here. He's just special, man. He's one hell of a player. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope have 15 points, he hit 3 threes. Then you got Bruce Brown also contributing pretty solidly. The bench wasn't great, but they didn't blow the game, right? They were okay. Bones Highland had at least 3 threes in 7 tries, which is fine, 11 points. The bench will probably be inconsistent, but, well, they're not killing them right now, which is all that matters. And on the Jazz side, they were without Mike Conley once again. They were without Jordan Clarkson, right? And they were still in this game because they just, next man up mentality. Malik Beasley was solid with 19. Kelly Olynyk at 18 and 9. You got Taylor Horton Tucker playing actually a really good ball. 19.7 rebounds, 4 assists. I liked what I saw from him. Nicky Alexander Walker had 27 points, 9 of 16 from the field, 5 threes. I loved what I saw from him. The bench was solid. You got Ochai Agbaji coming in, even though he didn't shoot the ball well. I liked what I saw from him and his confidence. Volker Kessler is, man, he's nice. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks, and he's a heavy contributor for him, which I love to see for the rookie. And yeah, that about does it, right? A rough loss for the Utah Jazz, and last but not least, we move on to Portland as the Blazers beat the TWolves. And contrary to Denver and Utah, where both teams, I believe, don't have the best defenses, and the same goes for Minnesota and Portland, even though I believe both teams got potential. And, well, they didn't show it today. There was some great offense played, but I would say there was a lot of bad defense played also. I'm really disappointing in Minnesota's defense overall. Since Cat has been injured, I felt like it was going to get actually better, but it's been pretty much the same, I feel like. And yeah, back and forth game. The T-Wolves get up to a lead in the third quarter, then, Portland comes storming back right away in the third quarter. Then it was back and forth. Then Dame time came, and, well, the Blazers win. Dame, 36 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 9 of 22 from the field, but he hit those that mattered, right? You got Drew Eubanks off the bench, which I was really impressed with. He had 10 points, some good dunks, and he was just solid. Shaden Sharp, even though he did, his shot has been pretty struggling. I feel like he played pretty solid today. Trenton Watford was pretty okay in his minutes. So they got some okay bench production. And, well, Dame carried today with Josh Hart playing really great with 11 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Anthony Simons, he shot the ball well. He, bounced back after that really bad game against Denver. He had 31 points, but he didn't play that great when he was on the floor to me. His offense was great, but overall game, I feel like he didn't play that well. Yusuf Nurkic the same, 8 and 15, but he just played 26 minutes, which I like the call from Chauncey Billups. And Jeremy Grant was solid. 17 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and was really good in that final, fourth quarter in the clutch time. So a great win for the Blazers. They should get Gary Payton pretty soon back, which I will be interested to see. We'll see how Portland goes from here as they are getting completely healthy and their roles are being more clear and everything, right? And that about does it. Some really good games, actually. These last 3 games were so good, actually. I really enjoyed these games. Some blowouts, some rough games, but a lot of actually pretty interesting and entertaining games, which you'll have to see on a Saturday. And we got Sunday games when we have the Suns against the Pelicans again. Early, nice and early. It's a shame that there is, NFL going on at the same time, because Niners are playing while this game will be going on, but I'll be watching both, and I can't wait to watch this game because this is gonna be fun, especially after we all know what happened, yesterday. Then we have the Knicks against the Kings. That should be actually a fun one. And well, Hawks Bulls might be fun, but well, actually not the best games. We'll see what comes out of them. Of course, not the best games on paper, but I'll be here to cover them all. Don't you worry about it. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow.